Boys, today I'm going to be predicting who I think is going to enter the top 15 in 2025 in every single division in the UFC. Now, you're going to have to give me some grace here and there because I'm not going to lie, your boy is sick as hell and I want to upload every single day. I'm going to try my best, but I've been getting milli-whopped left, right, and center the past few days, so be patient. Let's run through every division real quick though. Let me know in the comments below, do you guys have anyone else you would put here? Let's start off with Flyweight. Flyweight, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these divisions I don't see much movement in. Flyweight though, I do think we're gonna see some movement here and there, but all around I don't know if many people are gonna enter the top 15. But with that being said, I know they want to push, some Mexican fighters. We got a dude born in Mexico. He's 3-1 in the UFC, and the only loss was his debut fight to Tatsuro Taira. And then since then, he's gone on first round KO, got a split decision, but then a first round guillotine choke. Jesus Aguilar, he's currently scheduled to fight Rafael Estevam early 2025 February on the UFC 251 card. I do think he gets past Rafael, I'm not gonna lie, and after that that'd be 4 straight in a row. He would have some decent names, Stuart Nicole on there, Shannon Ross, and then other than that, having this Rafael guy on his list, he's currently undefeated. He made his debut earlier last year against Charles Johnson, getting that win. And this dude's been pretty inactive, but I think he's gonna get that. He's gonna take that dude's O. Let's move on to the Bantamweight division. Now, Bantamweight, again, I don't know how, because if you really look at it, we don't see many ranked opponents giving unranked opponents their shot in the rankings. And I honestly think that's what's going to happen to a lot of these divisions. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of movement. And I'm trying for a lot of these not to do the easy one like a Peyton Tabit, stuff like that. I'm not trying to give it a bunch of prospects, but for the Bantamweight division, I got Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson currently on a 5-fight winning streak, 3 of those coming from KO in the first round. And this dude's been in the UFC for a while. He started on the Contender Series, got a 3rd round KO win, moved up. Ricky Simone first fight, ended up losing that one. But then first round submission over Brian Kelleher, a few decisions here and there. He lost by decision to Brett Johns, then went on an absolute tear. Jess Strader, first round KO. JP Buys, decision win. Julio Arce's decision win. Rani Yaya, first round KO. And then just recently on the Cortez versus Namajunas fight, first 18 seconds KO win over Damon Blackshear. I think this dude his next fight could be for a top 15. If not, he's 1 fight away from entering that top 15 and getting a top 15 level opponent. Let's go down to that featherweight though. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling like absolute trash right now, so I'm going to speed up this shit because I feel like I'm going to die. But featherweight, I got 2 guys here. One, I have Sean Woodson. We just recently saw him at UFC Tampa, and since he lost back in 2020 against Julian Erosa, this dude has went on a tear, having wins over Yusuf Zil, Colin Allegan, Dennis Budska, Charles Jourdain. That's a really good fight looking back at it. Alex Caceres, another good win. Then just recently, Fernando Padilla, another great win. This dude is like 1 fight away from getting a top 15 level opponent. Moving up, we also have Jean Silva. Jean Silva and all the fighting nerds, I think a good portion of those fighting nerds are going to be top 15 ranked. And Jean Silva, I see that happening as well. Jean Silva currently 14-2 and is on a huge win streak. Hasn't lost since 2018. Since then has got some pretty good names on his resume, even though he just came into the UFC last year on the Contender Series. First fight, first round KO over Wilson in the first fight of the year, I believe, in 2024. UFC 203, Charles Jourdain got that 2nd round KO. Then again on that Cortez versus Namajunas fight card, we got Drew Dober. Just a huge win, going up in weight class for Jean Silva, just outclassing Drew Dober. And then after that win, he's also scheduled to fight on the UFC Fight Night 252 card. I think he beats this guy, and then we're looking at a top 15 level opponent for him next. He's been super active this year, 3 fights, all of them by KO, TKO. 100% Jean Silva is going to enter into that top 15 in 2025. Let's go into the lightweight division. Now, lightweight suffers with a lot of the top 15 guys don't want to fight anyone lower in the rankings. They all want to fight in the top 15, and I'm not very confident in this pick, to be honest, because the top 15, especially in lightweight, nobody wants to fight outside the rankings. I have a French fighter. The UFC wants to boost up their French market. He's been in the UFC for a minute now. Came into the UFC 219 on the Khabib versus Poirier fight. He ended up losing decision. It is what it is. came back. Jamie Malarkey got that decision win. Luigi Vendarami got that decision win. Ended up getting a submission loss against Terrence McKinney. It is what it is. But he's after that 4-fight win streak from 2022 all the way up till now against people like Mike Figlak, Jai Herbert, Claudio Puelles, and then Matt Favola just recently, one of the best KOs this year. I think if anyone has a chance of getting into the top 15 at lightweight, it's gonna be this guy. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, because top 15 and lightweight are very, very picky on who they fight. Let's go down into that welterweight division. Welterweight division, this is a common no-brainer one. I think arguably Bryan Battle's next fight is going to be for the top 15. You know, entering into the UFC against Gilbert Urbanina, you know, got that second round submission, beat Tresean Gore, beat Tashiako Santos by a head kick, end up losing a very close decision loss to Renat Fakandimov. Then Gabriel Green ended up KOing him. AJ Fletcher submission win. Then Angelosa just wanted nothing to do with Bryan Battle at all. Kevin Josette got that second round KO. And then just recently, Randy Brown split decision win. It was a close fight against those two. I think winner of that fight was going to get a top 15 next, and Bryan Battle ended up getting it done. Let's go into middleweight. Middleweight, I got two guys here, mainly because I just think their style would work very, very well in the top 15. Top 15 doesn't have a lot of high-level grapplers. That's why I have both Bo Nickel and Ryan DeRitter. I wouldn't be surprised if Bo Nickel takes 3 fights this year, and all of them are outside the rankings, and the last fight he takes this year would be for a ranking spot. I wouldn't be surprised. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a top 15 right now. Do I think he's ready for that? No, especially after that Paul Craig performance. I don't think he's ready. I think we give him 1-2 more fights outside the rankings, then we put him in the rankings. Me personally, I think that's also what's going to happen. Same thing with Ryan DeRitter. Ryan DeRitter coming off a win over the GOAT himself, GM3. And I just looking at this now, I didn't even know this was confirmed. Ryan DeRitter, Kevin Holland, UFC 311. So I believe Kevin Holland's in the ranking, right? If not, if he beats Kevin Holland, he's easily getting a top 15 opponent next. It's just no-brainer. With that being said, we got light heavyweight and heavyweight left. Light heavyweight, the light heavyweight and heavyweight division is so ass. There's just not that much talent in it, especially heavyweight. Heavyweight is so bad, but light heavyweight, you could have a few guys here. I have Ming Yang Zhang. He's currently undefeated in the UFC and hasn't lost since 2019. He hasn't been in the UFC that long. You know, he came from the road to UFC, ended up beating Tokos to Coast by first round KO. Brenton Hibero right after that, UFC 298, first round KO. Then recently, Osman Diaz. Yes, Osman Diaz was there just to give Ming a easy highlight reel KO. He did that in the first round. So I think, without a doubt, this dude, he's from China. They want to build that China market. This dude's easily getting top 15 by the end of 2025. And now let's get into heavyweight. Heavyweight is, you have to go look on the heavyweight roster and tell me comfortably that you think any of those guys are making it to the top 15. Me personally, I don't see that one bit. Nobody in the current heavyweight division is making it to the top 15 by the end of 2025. That being said, I think who's going to enter? Some random newcomer, maybe off a contender series, something like that. That's what I have for heavyweight. Let me know in the comments below. Who would you have? Would you have different guys here in each division? Pray I feel better, because I got a bunch of bangers lined up for you guys. So I'm hoping, you know, today's just an off day, and after that I'll feel way better. I'm praying for that. That being said, guys, thank you for watching to the end of the video, and I will see you guys in my next video.